Okay. So, hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome. I would like to welcome you all and thank you all for joining on time and make this interview possible. So, I would like to extend my thanks to Rajkiran ma'am and Dheeraj sir for accepting our invitation, for being kind enough and joining this meeting and helping us complete our assignment, which is really important because so thank you. So, to begin with, I would like to ask you about how Team Parikrama started. What is the idea behind it, and who is the head? Who is the person uh, behind this such wonderful or noble thought?
Yeah, I think Raj will give you some leads and then I'm going to give the background also for yeah.
Okay, first of all, thank you for including Team Parikrama in your assignment, and we are really happy to help you out with your assignments. And Team Parikrama was started way back in 2011 as an association of friends, where friends just came along and they just wanted to celebrate few of the common festivities like Ganesh Chaturthi or celebrate Independence Day or Republic Day or Martyrs Day, etc. So it was just like, few of the friends who came along and they started celebrating the festivities. And that is how the journey started. And that celebrating festivities extended and they started traveling together and cycling together. So when they started cycling with very low budget, with just tarpaulins wrapped around the cycle bars, they started exploring much more, and they got into a sort of good cycling habit. And in 2018, we just started. That's when I just met Professor Dheeraj back then. And I told him that you get to go to a lot of places and see a lot of places. But being girls, we are restricted on accounts of safety, and we don't get to explore as much as boys. So that's when both of us just thought about creating a platform for girls also to travel. It is like, we wanted women also to be empowered through travel. And once we saw that, yes, there was a business opportunity for it, and we were actually like hitting the nail right on the head. We started making some real good commercial progress. And after first year of profits, we thought anyway, both of us are employed. Now we are empowering women through travel. That is like, we are creating a platform for women to come on hikes, explore adventurous paths, and discover themselves, discover their passion, etc., and break their routine. What we started doing is, out of the proceeds, whatever we collected from the participants, we started channeling it towards educating girl children. So when we started educating academically adopting girls, the number of adoptions grew over the years. And currently we have adopted up to 22 to 23. 22 to 23 girls are studying. So it is only because, there was a platform that was created, and people saw that there was potential and they could use this platform. And as in return, we are able to like empower women because that's what we hardcore believe in.
So if you ask me how it all started, so the idea was that we had no idea and whatever came in our way, we were just open to a lot of things. Like Raj was just telling you about cycling to different places, organizing events of national importance or state importance, or supporting an NGO like we always do. So they were all a few bits and passes, and the mastermind is just here. So it was Raj who then proposed saying, whatever you're doing as a team, as a bunch of boys, why don't you start hosting events and celebrating adventures with a proper motto and things like that. And then we decided, yeah, there is like a lot of hindrances, or people are restricted to a lot of things. To be precise, girls are restricted to a lot of things. And then we wanted to give a platform. And even when we started this platform, we were not very sure about how long we are going to go about. But then, grace of people and people who said yes to new adventures. made it happen. And we are just happy the way it is progressing.
Wow. In the world of commercializing, I mean, like when all the business are focusing on profit maximization or whatever, the thought of empowering girls or the thought of integrating travel and women makes you unique, and that's why I mean, I wanted to interview you especially. So yeah, I mean, the idea itself relates to us so much, like especially for girls, for me especially, or for girls who come from families like mine. So kudos to you. Congratulations. And we shall proceed with the actual questionnaire. And I would like to call upon Lokesh for that.
Thank
Hi,
you,
sir.
Harsha.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello,
Hello.
Lokesh.
Hello. So my question is, like, you are in a, a development stage, or are you overdeveloped stage, or is there anything you want to change when you had started your plans and when you had implemented the plans? Is there anything that you wanted to change before so that the process now was much more smoother, or is there anything you have planned for future so that it becomes even more smoother?
All right. There is one change that I would really want to, but I don't think I can change that. That is COVID, right? So we started in the year 2018, and then just when we were taking off, and then things were hitting good, and we ended up having a rough stage of COVID, which lasted very long. And then once the COVID was there, the travel restrictions came in, and even after the COVID passed on, I mean, the phase of COVID just passed out, people hesitated to travel, and it made us, you know, look back at what we are doing and how things happen. And more people started traveling after COVID, but then now the scenario is that people don't want to travel like in groups. And even every time that we host events, it's setting back because people don't want to travel really like in groups. They just want an exclusive group and things like that. So apart from this COVID thing, if you ask me if I wanted to change something, uh, maybe nothing at all. Yeah.
And we are still in the developmental phase for sure. And there are a lot of changes, as you can, as always expected out of a startup. There are a lot of changes that will come along the way, and that is how we tend to grow. And now and you also asked about the future. Definitely, we are looking into get into the educational part as well. That is, not many people are aware of wildlife. Okay, and not many people are very conscious about the consumption of energy. So Team Parikrama has always been very conscious about the consumption of energy and also passionate towards travel as well as wildlife. So we have started off courses in St. Joseph's University, in Mount Carmel College. Now we are going to enter into Jain University as well, where we are rolling out credit courses is specialized in wildlife as well as in content creation and travel. So Team Parikrama, as usual, is like really keeping its platform wide open for exploring many things. But this is another trend that we are able to see where we are venturing into education aspect as well.
That's great, ma'am. So my next question is, how did you decide where to establish your company? So is there any particular location?
All right. Travel being what it is, we not really think about the destination or where to get started from. All that we aspired to do was wherever we are, we just wanted to mobilize a thought saying, yeah, we are a team. And if you're a girl and if you're wanting to travel with us, we would love to take you out. And we started with initial places which are less recognized or less traveled places, I would say. And also to put it on record, those places which is not still recognized by tourism department, sadly. And we started recognizing this uh, places which were not very famous and popular amongst the travelers. And we did a recce and a lot of things. And then as and when we started exploring different places. And today we are very proud that we also host an event in the islands, that's the Andaman. So that's something that we are assured of.
And the exact place where it all began as such, we cannot tell, because he was in Jain College, Center for Graduate Studies, and I was in Mount Carmel. I think that's when I saw that, like me and Harsha, there are loads many girls who want to travel, but we are not able to. So it was just over a phone call that, but I told him, can you arrange for everything? Because we really want to, can we go ahead? That is like the exact.
So I think it was kind of virtual and we don't have a fixed place.
Yeah.
And all that we had is, like, say, a departure place, or maybe I could say it as assemble point. That's the only point where we used to meet, and it was just a public place, nothing else.
So out of curiousness, my one more question, what I would like to ask is, are you the girls who are interested to come and travel? Is there something that you have to get back to their homes and convince them to send, or is there any agreements or such for their safety?
Right.
See, I'll tell you, Lokesh, when it comes to parents sending in girls, it's with a lot of hesitation. So what we did is, as I was teaching faculty, few of my students would accompany us on treks. So I would always get a phone call.
So she would always be a goodwill ambassador of Team Parikrama.
Where I will always get a phone call, will my daughter be safe? How are you taking them? And after some time, as the number of people started increasing, not only from mounts, but we started getting girls from other end as well. Again, we used to get phone calls. How are you trained? Are you having the certifications with you to take people on trek? So we complied because of those questions along the journey. I told you we are in developmental stage. We also got our certifications done. So I am a certified nature guide. He is a certified naturalist and also disaster management person. And we also started exploring much more.
And both of us are trained for first aid. So that is something that we also equip. And like you asked, we got back to some parents to convince them and all those things. That still happens. And the moment we start living from the leaving to the destination, a few parents would also accompany their daughters to live out, and then they also have a friendly talk with us, and they would
come
also
to observe what kind of people are we sending our daughters.
They would also be very skeptical if they find some boys around and all those things. And we would only have boys as volunteers, and we would introduce them also to ensure that parents feel safe around and all those things. And yes, there are a few times wherein if it is an overnight camp and all those things, parents have given us call directly to check if they are all doing well. And it's been a integral part, I would say. But yeah, parents have also been trusting us. There are a few instances parents have written back to us saying, thank you so much, because of you, our daughters have been able to explore. So there are days like, joy to us also.
They definitely brighten our day for sure.
And because of this continuous trust, if I have to just give you one example, there is a friend of ours now who was to come to trek and all those things. And now that friend has turned out to be kind of a family friend. And every time the girl has to come out with us, the mother comes, drops the girl, and then she has a friendly talk with our parents, and then she walks out.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is also one reality, yeah.
Okay, so that's all from my end. Over to you, Rohan.
Yes. Hi, ma'am. Hi, sir. So my question is, in the beginning of your journey, like what are the challenges did you face and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, not just in the beginning, we still have a lot of challenges, I would say. First of all, like when we say girls going out, right? It is not just like anybody going out. There are few aspects that we would put it out in design. Like, say, for example, it might be how safe a travel can be, or who are the crew who are going to come with us, or like, say, if they have interactions with localites, how are they going to have the way they behave, or like the localites behave, or how do we strike that balance? Or like, say, one of the biggest challenges that we still have till date is the toilets, finding clean and nice restrooms for girls to use after the trek or before the trek, places to eat. So they were like all different challenges. So what we started doing is before we took people out, we explored the places on our own. So Raj was always there, and she used to be the flag bearer. If she said yes, that's when we started hosting it. It might be starting from a small restroom, or it might be the road that we took, or the transport facility, and all those things. So that's how it began. Yeah, and
And in a nutshell, if I just have to tell you about the challenges, it's about the food. Not many people see when it is like South Indian
Oh, yeah.
food that is given. North Indians are not very comfortable, or even if it is a real good food, basic food. See, especially in less connectivity
remote
areas,
places.
remote places, what happens is we don't get the kind of food that we get in Bangalore city, and not many people will get adjusted to that. That is a huge challenge. And as Dheeraj was just saying, washrooms, that is a huge problem.
Just to add on, because now I just get a glimpse. So there were a few communities who did not wanted onions in their food. There are few communities who would want vegan food on the trek.
Yeah.
So it would not be like a custom made for every thing. So that was all like a real challenge. And then now when we put out an itinerary, we also mentioned saying it is going to be basic veg food, because the area that we host events, it's all remote conditions, and not all the facilities can be cope up with.
And whatever you will be studying about services, the features of service, whatever is there, variability, perishability, simultaneous production and consumption, all these things pose as a challenge for us. And washrooms, finding good washrooms with good water facility was a huge challenge. Not was, is still a huge challenge for us. And overall security of taking all the travelers with us and equipping our marshals and empowering them as to few of the toolkits that we know, that was a challenge, but now it has to a certain extent gradually reduced.
Yeah, that's great that you're overcoming all these challenges and you're doing a great job. And next, my question is like, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to become an entrepreneur or you want to become a business person?
From my end would be whatever problem you're facing, just address that problem. Trust me, it will click. Because just like how you saw in this conversation itself, I faced a problem, Harsha is facing a problem. Just like Harsha and me, there are many girls those who are facing the problem. When I recognized that there was a gap and Dheeraj was there to bridge that gap, our business clicked.
So what she meant is she identified a problem and I was a solution.
Ooh, yeah, you can always take in like that, definitely. So if for the advice to the entrepreneurs, go ahead, take risk at an young age, make as many mistakes as possible, but don't repeat the mistakes. That is something Dheeraj has taught me, and still trying to implement. And yeah, just say for as many things as possible so that you keep yourself exposed to the opportunities and also learn from the opportunities that will come along. From my end, I think that would be the advice.
And from me, I would say everybody got to think locally and act globally. So that's the mantra that I also follow. Like, say, anything that we do on Team Parikrama is not a fancy thing. It is just with a common sense that we integrate few things. Like, say, for example, making our tour eco-friendly. How do you make it eco-friendly? We don't buy fancy things, right? We just end up buying a steel cutlery, and we would just end up solving the problem. Or like say anything that comes into your mind, right? Make it a habit that you jot it down and put it into your actions. We all dream, but we don't make our actions count. So if we can make actions count, I think that's where we can all grow. You would have all seen like YouTubers or reel stars or on Instagram. What do they all do is they are not perfect, but what they are trying to do is they're just trying to put out their heart to the world. So I feel that's where the mantra is also.
Yeah, that's nice. Next, like what are the strategies did you first use to market your business, and what are the strategies now you're using, like the developed strategies now you're using to market your business?
Our USP spoke a lot for itself. Our USP was to create a platform that is solely for women to travel, and that attracted customers for us. It was not a strategy as such we went in for. It was just that we told few of our community people, stating that we are going in for providing a platform for women exclusively, and young girls could join us. So that's when we saw that there was a surge of women, those who wanted to explore. And after few of the treks, through word of mouth, it was not that we campaigned or rallied for our marketing strategy. Mainly Team Parikrama grew through the word of mouth. So that became our very strong, marketing thing, if we have to say. It was mainly the.
And I think right from the beginning, we have been sticking to what we have visioned, right? Like, say, for example, any activity that we post on Insta or Facebook or any platform that we have, we get a lot of queries from boys saying that, they are interested to join in and all those things. And to be also be frank with you all, we have had a second thought also to have an opening for boys to join along, because at some point of time we all had like shrinkage, like in the walk-ins of girls and all those things. And then we also decided, okay, should we also open it now for boys? And that's when we were strong enough to understand, no, let's stick on to our principle. And we have just been doing that. So apart from the cycle expeditions, which is open to for boys and girls, rest all of our activities are closed for only girls. And also to talk about how did we place our product in the market, it was just word of mouth. And if you still see, we are still trying to grow organic, and we are not, till date, we have never gone on a, you know, uh, paid promotion kind of thing, or uh, we are in no hurry to grow, if you ask me. So we are not into very crude marketing kind of thing and saying like, okay, asking everybody to just join in and all those things. We have still not been doing it. So
Oh, okay, sir, that's nice. So these are my questions. Next, I'll hand over to Vandana.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
So, firstly, I'm astonished about the idea like encouraging women to travel and also like empowering them parallelly. So, that's the rare thing. I really liked it. So, here
Thank
are
you so
few
much.
questions.
Mhm.
Here are few questions from my side. Like, how did you establish the culture in your business, and how effective was it?
From the very beginning, I think Team Parikrama voiced out its culture to be extremely sustainable. Okay, being sustainable, practice of sustainability, then being eco-friendly, and being the voice for the people, those who need it. I think that is the main culture and the voice of Team Parikrama. When someone is in need, we are always there. We thought that, today it is not that if I give you a packet of food today, yes, you are nourished for a day. But instead, if I try to teach you the letters or the words or educate you, you will be able to learn to get food for yourself, make your living. So that is something that we always believed in, the culture of empowering people. And second thing is, we were environmentally conscious from the very beginning. From 2011 itself, once these friends and all just began celebrating, let's say Ganesh Chaturthi, very soon they realized the implications of immersing colored Ganpatis in the water. And immediately they changed themselves into recycling or
Reuse of the same Ganesha idol.
the idol, whichever comes in steel or silver colored. So they started replacing that with the colored mud.
I think to answer your question, our culture was imbibed only through our actions. So we not just talk to people saying, okay, yeah, we are eco-friendly. We made it count, like say anything that we spoke about, like be women empowerment through travel and education. So we organize events only for girls, yes, and we also empower girls through funding their academical needs. So that's where I think our culture spoke. Whatever we spoke to people or whatever we claim that we do, we put it out to action. So that's where I think our culture became much stronger, I would say.
That's the great insight, actually. So my next question is, like in the
Just a
initial
minute.
stage.
Vandana,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. This meeting will end in 8 minutes. I think it's better that we end this and we'll rejoin to the same link. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thank you.